Greetings! I'm finally back with another unboxing. It's been a while. Lots of things been happening, but hey, back with this one now. This is going to be a quickie. As you can see, it's quite lean there. That's because this one is from Record Mania in Sweden. The good people at Record Mania. Look, sometimes it's a bit more expensive to post out, but once you bundle three together, it's reasonable. And so I'll get into this one. I didn't cut it yet, but I'll pause it, come back to you with the cut. Well, alrighty, you'll be very glad I paused it because this one was taped very well, very secure, and it took a while to open it, and that would have been very, very boring viewing for you. But anyway, yeah, look, Record Mania always package their stuff quite well, always safe, never had an issue. So let's crack on in. Okay. Okay, yep. All right, now the first one, this is the main one I purchased. I will say this could be a little bit controversial. That might be an understatement for some people, but I have been after this because it is a funky record and it's not the easiest thing to find. But look, it is Bill Cosby presents Badfoot Brown and the Bunyan's Bradford Funeral Marching Band. Yes, I said Bill Cosby, but look, you'll notice it says presents on this one. I do have the one before, and look, that is a great album. I really actually dig that, the one before, the Badfoot Bunyan Browns one. This has a very similar title, different cover here. But look, my understanding is Bill Cosby really doesn't have a lot to do this one. This is like early 70s. I think it's about 1973, I think, possibly around about there. Oh, okay, they've packaged that in there. So how do I, oh, yep. So, hey, look, so if you can, you know, try your best to hold aside the prejudices you would rightfully now have about Bill Cosby, well, you'll get a funky album you can enjoy. Because mainly, I'm trying to remember the guy's name. There is it Mel Brown on guitar there? I think. But you will notice, yeah, we got a couple of players that are quite known there. Particularly Willie Bobo on timbales and George Bohannon on a trombone. And also on saxophone, right down the bottom there, we have Joe Henderson. Now, it is saying that all compositions were written by Bill Cosby. I believe he may sing on one of them. But don't let that put you off. It is actually, you know, pretty funky stuff. Give it a crack, and you might be pleasantly surprised. I'm just going to try to see if this has got a... Did I miss the year? Oh, they're 72, so I was close. Sorry, that's just not going in autofocus tonight for some reason. Anyway, normally it does. But 1972, on Buddha Records. All right, I'll just put that one to the side. I won't open up the vinyl here. Oh, good to see. I was going to say it's still in the paper, but it's at least got a plastic line or two, so hopefully that's good news. All righty, next up. Now the controversy is over. This one is a bit of an oddity. Now I really didn't know much, well, didn't really know about much until recently, and then saw it and then did some research on this one and had a bit of a listen. I actually did preview this. I didn't go on blind for this because it's a it's an interesting record. It's hard to pin down, but this is by Gary Bird Experience. It's presenting the Gary Bird Experience, and I would have no doubt that that is Gary Bird there, giving you the experience. It's on RCA, so it's on a major label from the 70s. Again, I'm going to guess this one is, I think about 74, maybe 75, somewhere around there, maybe earlier. And look, it's just gonna, let's see there. We've got the it's on Dynaflex. So yeah, I'm gonna say early 70s, and I'm not sure it's going to go in there and focus. Oh, here we go. I'm trying to see down there. Does it have a year? No, but anyway, if it is on the Dynaflex, yeah, usually I'm pretty sure that was only an early 70s thing. So I'll just take that out. Yeah, I can feel I can feel it's a Dynaflex because it's flexing. There. We won't go into the the stuff about Dynaflex. Alright, anywho, here's the back cover. Just zooming on in, and oh, there we go. Yeah, so the Dynaflex did tell me early 70s, 1972, so a bit earlier than I previously quoted. But that's a good thing because the music is, very funky. However, look, Gary Bird does not sing. So this again is almost like, you could almost say like proto-rap, people would say. It's not dissimilar to the album by Sport that's backed by Kool and the Gang around the same time. And this is very similar. It's almost like, spoken rhyme, sort of couplet things, but, with a very funky backing. Look, I will say it's the kind of thing that, when you're starting to listen to the whole album, it does get a bit much because the style's so very similar throughout in his delivery. But that doesn't mean it's not a cool album. It just seemed one of those oddities, like, that would be nice to have, where it's sort of that mix between funk and that kind of old school rapping, like James Brown would, rap in that way. And from like the Last Poets, where Lightning Rod and Sport. Sorry, I said Sport before. Lightning Rod, backed by Kool and Gang, from the Last Poets. It's that sort of thing with where you can see it would easily then morph into sort of hip hop later by the late 70s, early 80s. But anyway, yeah, and gotta say too, I really like the cover. There's some bad stuff there. He looks pretty fly. Anyway, so that is it. Was a nice something I've just been learning about recently. Alrighty, and the last one in this quickie set is something I've put off for a long time. I'm going to be honest. It's a record I'd seen around, and I went, nah, for a while. And then look, I think I've finally come around to give it a crack. Now I've got some of these guys' earlier stuff, but it is the MGs in the early 70s, but without Booker T. And that's the thing that sort of turned me off, to be honest. I thought, they're just pushing out another LP here. Post Booker, is it time to hang up? Look, it is on Stax though. So being that it's early 70s, Stax, when they're trying to probably do the whole save the label, churn things out, I had to eventually give this a crack. And yes, it is where music is. So if I just have a quick open up on this one. Again, this one's only in the paper, so I'm hoping it's in good nick without too many paper scratches. Just having a quick look at it. It looks, yeah, it's probably hard for you to see with that glare, but it actually looks really nice and clean and shiny. But look, here we go on the back. And there we go, yeah, 73. So Stax is still hanging in there. But, you know, starting to be on the way out. So obviously with the influence of, you know, two of the members at least, the original members. So that's the other thing. Steve Cropper is not on this. I forgot to mention that before. And that, again, is sort of one of those things where you go, yeah, look, it's only half the MGs, and I don't know if this is quite prophetic or on purpose, but, you know, saying leftovers. It's like they're the left, you know, it actually says there's two songs side by side. The MGs, leftovers. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's a very good choice of track listing there. But look, it still stacks. It's still Al Jackson Jr. before he tragically got murdered. Still got Donald Duck Dunn on bass, who's always solid. So it should be an interesting listen, and it's nice to have another bona fide Stax LP anyway in the collection. Anyway, that's the quickie. That's the MGs. This is goodbyes. See you next time.